Hello YouTube, my name's Kangath and spring is right around the corner. Since the Stardew Valley cookbook has its recipes split up between the 4 seasons, it only made sense to start spring off with a Cooking with Kangath video, making 2 of those spring recipes. I will start this video by quickly saying, this cookbook is not made for us sale shopping middle class chefs. One of the recipes in this cookbook straight up calls for 2 whole lobsters. But anyways, today we are making farmer's lunch from the Queen of the Sauce and cheese cauliflower from Pam. Let's start with farmer's lunch. This is the dish that taught me parsnips are not actually round like they appear in the game. They look like white carrots. I'd never had one before, but I peeled and chopped them. Then they were tossed in a dressing made of olive oil, maple syrup, salt, and pepper. You spread the parsnips on a tray, and the recipe says to roast for 35 to 40 minutes at 375 degrees, but mine were actually burnt at the 30-minute mark, so not the best first impression of parsnips. However, I made this salad again later, and I can confirm it tastes very good when it's not burnt. While the parsnips cook, you can toss your baby arugula, or regular arugula because it's cheaper, in the leftover dressing from the parsnips, and they'll be mixed into the parsnips once they're cooked. The arugula itself is not cooked. The second half of farmer's lunch is a fancy omelet. Separate 3 eggs, then whip the egg whites to medium stiff peaks and set them aside. Then add your milk to the egg yolks and whip those up as well. You want them pale and airy according to the cookbook. I'm not sure what an airy egg looks like, but I tried my best. Finally, the yolks get folded into the whites until just combined. The recipe specifically says to use a medium cast iron skillet, but I do not have one of those, so I just used the pan that I did have, heated it at medium high, and melted butter in it to coat the pan. You want the bottom and the sides. Pour the egg mixture in and cook it for 6 to 8 minutes, then cover the pan and cook for 2 to 4 more minutes at a lower heat. You want the bottom of the egg fully set and the top almost set. Reduce the heat all the way to low, pop the lid off, sprinkle your omelet with salt and pepper, as well as approximately half a cup of shredded Gruyere cheese, which is surprisingly expensive. Let the cheese melt before turning the heat all the way off and sprinkling it with fresh herbs. I use chives and flat leaf parsley, but you can use any fresh spring herbs. I then folded the omelet very poorly and slapped them on a plate. At this point, I was so hungry I did forget to take B-roll, but please enjoy the taste test. Say goodbye to voiceover me and hello to camera mic me. We are going to try the farmer's lunch. I think all of it is overcooked, but not the arugula because it isn't cooked. Okay, let's see. I've never had parsnips before. Hang on. Arugula is hard to chew. I actually really like this sort of like oil, maple syrup seasoning, but my parsnips are definitely overcooked. So I picked out the less burnt ones. They're actually really good. I'm not the biggest arugula fan, but I do think it kind of works well with this. Smelly, can you get away from my Gruyere, please? Get! That was $10 worth of Gruyere, lady. Anyways, let's try the egg. That is good. This is my first time having Gruyere cheese as well. Like I said earlier in the video, this is a rich people's cookbook, okay? I'm like an aged cheddar now. This is good. I was worried about the Gruyere because it smells so bad. The Gruyere cheese stinks. Here, smell it. Smell it. Yeah. But this is good. Excuse me while I go eat this. This is your mid-video reminder that if you like Stardew Valley, I actually post about it pretty regularly here on my YouTube channel, so make sure you like and subscribe. Second dish is Pam's cheese cauliflower recipe that the book says she learned from her father. This recipe starts with heating your oven to 450 with your baking sheet already in the oven. I did have this recipe because it calls for 2 full heads of cauliflower, and cauliflower was not a good price when we went shopping. So I melted a tablespoon of butter in a saucepan over medium heat, added panko, salt, and pepper. You want to cook the breadcrumbs to crisp them up a bit for about 6 to 8 minutes, then set them aside in a small bowl. I use the same pan, fill it halfway with water, add a little less than half of your chosen amount of cauliflower, with a large pinch of salt, and bring to a boil. Let the cauliflower boil for about 6 minutes, I stirred it occasionally, before covering the pan and reducing the heat to low, allowing it to simmer until the cauliflower is quite soft. That cooked cauliflower is then going to go in a blender or food processor with half a cup of milk, and you blend it until smooth. Still using the same pan, melt another tablespoon of butter, and I just added flour, but the recipe does also call for garlic cloves. I just left them out because Mom Gov is allergic. Toast the flour quickly, and then the blended cauliflower goes back in the pan along with some thyme. Simmer this mixture while whisking frequently to get a thick, creamy sauce. Should take 12 to 15 minutes total. Finally, for our sauce, you want to add shredded Gruyere and Havarti. At this point, I was wondering why we were adding white cheese to a white sauce for a white vegetable. Then I remembered this is Stardew Valley and it made more sense. With the remaining cauliflower, I chopped it, tossed it in olive oil, salt, and pepper. Then it gets spread evenly across the preheated pan. The book says to cook for 15 minutes, rotate and cook for 10 more, but once again, mine were already burning by the 15-minute mark, so clearly my oven is hotter than whoever wrote this cookbook. Then spread half the sauce in the bottom of a dish, add the cooked cauliflower, another sauce layer, and finally sprinkle with our golden brown breadcrumbs. Please enjoy my taste test. Okay, taste test time. I think we can officially determine that my oven is hotter than whoever made this cookbook because my cauliflower is burnt. So check your oven more frequently than I did if you're going to make it. I also feel like my sauce to cauliflower ratio is not the best, but we're gonna find out, aren't we? I mean, Pam, you've outdone yourself. This is pretty good. The little bit of crunch from the panko is actually really nice. I might add more panko actually. I have some left over. I didn't want to sprinkle too much on it because I was going for the aesthetic shot, but I think it needs the crunch a little bit because it's very mush, you know? Yeah, the extra panko crunches the panko on top. Okay, maybe I'll cut that out. I don't know. Anyways, this is really good, but so freaking expensive to make this. The Havarti, the Gruyere, the cauliflower. You got a sale shop for this cookbook, you really do. Unless you're just richer than me, then go off. Oh. Keep going on my sweeter. I'm gonna eat another serving of this and let editing me wrap this video up. Thank you for watching, and let me know if you've ever cooked anything from the Stardew Valley cookbook. I'll see you again for some summer recipes closer to summer.